Update information on Town Hall 17, a multiplayer rework, and a new hero was recently shared by Clash of Clans General Manager Stuart in a Reddit AMA. I have 31 answers written down, which gave us good information, but I've broken these into 5 categories. So let's begin with the first. Anything attacking related. He was first asked if there would be any more super troops or a rework to them, in which he said there will be some next year, potentially more than one, and the system might also change then. This is something they have alluded to in the past because it was designed as a bit of a Dark Elixir resource dump as well, so I'm hoping that if that's not even needed anymore, they could remove the limited time of super troops, so once you've boosted one, it would just be indefinitely boosted until you're ready to cancel and switch to another one. But we'll see. It also seems there are plans to rework the barracks UI early next year to make it much more convenient to use. Alongside this, when training an army, it would pull in information for pets and equipment. This would be fantastic in the quick train slot. There was a few questions on the difficulty of the game and balance. Stuart said there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Probably in the future, they would introduce more ways like hard mode, where players could tune their own difficulty for their experience. Whether this is different difficulty levels, so there's a slider if you will, or even just expanding the hard mode into different areas of the game, which is something that Stuart said they are considering, alongside adjusting exactly what hard mode means. So how difficult is it? In the recent hard mode change, they capped the level of equipment, which I think was a good choice, but when they did that, it made me think it was going to be exclusive to Friendly Wars, and that it wouldn't be implemented to other areas of the game. So I'll be interested to see what they decide to do with this. I think it only has to apply to the highest levels of competition. Otherwise, if it impacts more casual players too much, well then you might as well just make a more difficult game balance anyways. In my opinion, in the highest leagues of Clan War would be acceptable, and the higher points of Legend League. I don't think they should create a new league, because in my opinion, it's really cool to see people so proud of hitting Legends League, but likewise, it is the most competitive, so you do want to assure that the best players can rise to the top. So that could just be a case of implementing hard mode above a certain trophy point. This is something the team is clearly looking to improve, because he said there would be a rework to ranked play next year, as the current Legends setup isn't ideal. Like I suggested, I would probably just implement hard mode above a certain trophy point within Legends. But there are also other things that they take into consideration with the balance. For example, Stuart said that they would not allow people to switch out equipment whilst they're scouting bases due to how much easier this would make the game, especially in Legends League. By allowing this, they'd mainly be helping the highest level of strategic players who already find the game a bit too easy for their liking, so it would just negatively impact casual players. This is also why he said that most likely they would not allow you to independently use your equipment. He did say in the future, obviously you never know what the Clash team might do in 10 years' time, but at the moment all that would do was make the balance even weaker and help the more strategic players. So there is strategy in actually choosing two pieces of equipment that synergize well together. Stuart also mentioned that there would be changes to the multiplayer system. We'll cover this a little bit more in the goals for 2025 section, but as part of that, he definitely alluded to the revenge system. Currently, it's a little bit weird, because even when you take a defense, you don't know whether that was a revenge or not. But moving to defense, Stuart did say that they do not plan to add any more levels to the cannons and arch towers. In fact, they would look to add one more cannon and archer tower so that they could merge every single one of them away. So we would have no more cannons or archer towers on our base. As we move forward, we would only have the multi-archer tower and ricochet cannons. This is definitely good in the sense that you feel like you're upgrading things that are unique each time. Plus, when it comes to a new Town Hall level, they should always make sure that it switches up the gameplay, especially since they have previously stated they're looking to bring a new Town Hall every 12 months now. But in terms of adding those bigger standalone defenses, the team is very aware of that, and in order to make sure that the base doesn't turn into just a massive unfun death ball, as Stuart put it, that's why they would make sure that some defenses would need to be merged or removed to make way for new ones to come in. And this answer was in relation to how Stuart had talked on a previous AMA of merging the Eagle Artillery into the Town Hall. So it sounded like they were going to remove the Eagle itself, and now seemingly that is the plan so that they can make way for more signature defenses as Town Halls move on. With Town Hall 17, he did say there would be a lot of changes to defense, in which he thought the meta would change quite a bit. He didn't give any indication as to what the signature defense at Town Hall 17 would be, but seemingly it is something that mechanically offers something new to the game and would shift the meta. He went on to clarify that as much as they want to evolve things quite drastically between Town Hall to Town Hall, that does not necessarily mean that the game would get harder. It just means that the strategies that are needed to overcome such new defenses would be switched. I am sure that more traditional armies would transfer through from Town Hall to Town Hall, but seemingly there would be new strategies emerging as well, especially with the integration of new units that we could use. And when I say units, I don't just mean troops, I mean heroes, because Stuart essentially confirmed that we will get another hero in Clash of Clans. In fact, multiple heroes it seems, because he said the Unlimited Hero event back in July didn't result in the increased play we'd hoped it would. I will say that I am surprised on this, because I would have thought if you can use your heroes whilst they're upgrading, it would have encouraged more farming attacks. So I'm interested to hear that that is the outcome, and because of that, they have decided that when they add more heroes in future, the system will change to ease a bit of that inconvenience. So he has confirmed we will get more heroes. He didn't confirm when it would be, but you will be able to take any non-upgrading heroes to battle, and you will have more hero options than slots you can fill. Essentially confirming that what they said in a previous Q&A, that when they add more heroes, you will only be able to take 4 into battle. So this will help to ease some of the inconvenience, because if you have 5 heroes, but you can only take 4 into battle, clearly you can just constantly be upgrading one of them, and you're not severely handicapped when it comes to clan wars, especially because they're so important to take part in now, since you get the ores from clan wars to upgrade your hero equipment. But even though this is something that will help the situation, I do feel they need to add more for it as well. Whether it is some more unlimited hero events, because they could certainly add that in. Technically, there is the ability to do that, because they've done it in the past. Or my suggestion would be a magic snack, where we can use our heroes when they're upgrading for 3 attacks, or something like that. Most of the other answers came down to hero equipment, and Stuart did say that the equipment maxed level would not be increasing when Town Hall 17 launches. So common equipment would remain at level 18, epic equipment would remain at 27. That does mean that, especially common equipment, you max that out at a much lower Town Hall level, so clearly as the Town Hall levels progress and the strength of your base increases, there would be a point where they do increase the equipment maxed level. Otherwise, they would become pretty useless, especially when you think of damage equipment such as the spiky ball or the fireball. Now, when I read this answer, I would think that he has clearly said they're not raising the equipment for Town Hall 17 launching. I think if they were going to raise the equipment for Town Hall 17, they probably would do it with it launching. So I would take from this answer that we would get more equipment levels at Town Hall 18. But we'll see. He didn't necessarily say that they wouldn't be coming throughout Town Hall 17 either. So I guess raising of equipment levels could still be on the cards there. He did, though, say that there are no plans to add legendary equipment at the moment. Seemingly, they have common and epic equipment, and one of the UI artists tried to super future-proof themselves by adding in some sort of legendary support, which seemingly was data mined and speculated on, but he has confirmed that at the moment, there are no plans to add another rarity to equipment. I don't think it's a bad thing that they've added support for that, because who knows in 5 or 6 years' time how the equipment situation looks. It could be a good idea to add it, but certainly I would agree that at the moment and for the near future, that is definitely something that is not warranted. As is taking more equipment for each hero. Again, I think this would just be very difficult to balance if you were synergizing 3 pieces of equipment together. I mean, imagine if you could take the Eternal Tome, the Healing Tome, and the Rage Gem for the Grand Warden. It would just be too much. But one thing that was interesting, Stuart said, and I really like that he shared this actually, is obviously they will monitor the balance of equipment. This question was in relation to the Lava Loon puppet. If they feel it really warrants a buff, then they would go ahead and do so, because what they try and do is aim for equipment to be similarly powerful in the right situation. That is their balancing philosophy. And I think that's really interesting because it means there's not one piece of equipment that you have to upgrade, and if you don't, then you're left behind. You're not going to be able to 3-star. Yes, there's going to be adjustments in the meta. They're not ever going to be able to get it where it's 100%. Doesn't matter which equipment you use, they're all equal in strength, but it gives you those strategical options versus different base layouts, and I think it's great that their plan is to get all of them equally balanced. And it kind of goes to what I've said a lot of times in videos, that I would personally upgrade the most versatile equipment first, so you have a good set of equipment at max level, and then you can start upgrading other ones to tailor your strategies as you fancy. The second part of this question, by the way, which we'll get to for Town Hall 17, but he said progress of it is looking good. They're not going to share details right now. You don't have long to wait. The next answer on heroes and equipment, I am so glad that Stuart touched upon, because I literally screenshotted a comment from this channel a couple of days ago that I was planning to share with the team when I go to Finland next week for Clash of Clans World Championships. And it's all about how returning players can feel overwhelmed with the amount of equipment that they've missed out on in the trader shop that they would have to buy with gems. And this is one thing that I love about the second channel being more discussion based, by the way, is that I can get a little bit more in-depth comments about how players are feeling and share that with the team. But Stuart did say that they were looking to integrate older equipment to perhaps medal events or even the Clan War League shop. I think this is fantastic, because whenever they have a Super Troop medal event and there's not a new piece of equipment, they could just put a couple of the older ones in the shop so that people could get them and not have to spend gems for each and every one of them. The Clan War League shop is also a great place because it encourages active playing, which I know is one thing the team were looking at when it came to equipment and ore, so that would achieve that goal. The other part of this question was in clearing clan messages, not medals as Stuart got mixed up with, but it was because someone was saying the UI of the clan chat could use further improvement. And that brings us on to the goals section, in which Clash shared a lot of things that they will be introducing in 2025. I'll quickfire some of these ones as well. Cost and time reductions alongside Town Hall 17. Yes, there's some juicy ones as well. They do plan to rework not just the multiplayer system that Stuart had mentioned earlier I showed you, but also the multiplayer loot in the first half of next year. So perhaps the storage cap increase and the changes to loot they did in the last update was purely getting ready for multiplayer changes next year. When it comes to the amount of pets per town hall, probably that's going to be around about 2 per town hall, but as they introduce new heroes in the future, that might mean more pets are needed to synergize with specific hero mechanics. We know that they're currently testing season challenges and how exactly players complete them, but they're not going to introduce more points to the end of the challenge or even like a bonus tier for extra rewards or anything like that, because they do want to make sure that all of the season challenges can be completed pretty casually. They might make a change with the season challenges though, whereby the 20% discount was unlocked earlier. That's one of the reasons they're running the current Gold Pass test. In this answer, Stuart also said that for 2025, they are looking at reworks to the multiplayer battle systems. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to that because I'm not sure what exactly they have in mind or what that could look like. I can't think of any groundbreaking way they could improve it. So I'm really intrigued by that one, but there would be new event types as well and lots more fun stuff to play with. So interesting times ahead with 2025, but the next answer I was pretty surprised with. Legend League trophy shop, unlikely and if ever, only cosmetic. I think a Legend League trophy shop would be fantastic to exchange your Legend League trophies. It's something you could strive towards to get those exclusive skins or emotes if they add them, whatever. I think it's a great idea, and I'm surprised that it's something that they're saying is unlikely. Also, what is unlikely is increasing the sizes of CWL matchups or even the size of a clan. They are still focused on the 50-person clan experience first. Perhaps they will revisit old skin sets in the future as they add more heroes to bring, let's say, the magic set to a new hero. And they are looking to bring more war sceneries. In fact, there is a cool war-based scenery coming next month. Not sure I'm ready to switch out my war arena scenery though. Interestingly, for Clan War League, he did say that if things continue to be a problem, they might have to look at increasing the number of leagues because there is not a matchmaking algorithm for Clan War Leagues. It's all based upon if you win, you move up a league. So it might be that if you are very successful and you are a very good clan, you end up being matched with people that are higher town hall levels because they aren't as good at the game. It was interesting to hear them acknowledge that. They did say that base building UI, this is something they are potentially looking at for next year. And when it comes to Builder Base and Clan Capital, he said that, as we know, there are no updates for them this year, and they're not at a stage where they can maintain all 3 villages yearly, and the home village seemingly is the focus. But he also said that not many clans are at the maxed clan capital yet, so Capital Hall 11 is quite a way off. Despite that, they would look to bring more ways that people who enjoy the clan capital can play it aside from just the raid weekend. The main thing when it came down to goals for 2025 though, was that Stuart answered for 2 different questions actually, that they are aiming to speed up progression of the game through the mid-game and the lower town hall levels to get as many players as possible to the last town hall, where you have the most stuff to unlock and enjoy. This does mean that if they are successful in getting more players to the last town hall, they'd need to assure there is enough to do there. Even though they'd plan to bring a new town hall every 12 months, they would need to make sure that there is not a stall at the end game where there's nothing to upgrade. And I think that is where superchargers have certainly came in to help, but it's something that they are looking to continue to improve for several years. Moving to Town Hall 17 though, obviously a couple of the questions in this video I have been mentioning about Town Hall 17, so we've already covered a lot of this section, but he did say that there will be new gameplay for lower town halls as well with the launch of Town Hall 17. Just like with Town Hall 16, how we got the hero equipment and that was accessible for a lot of Town Hall levels, seemingly there will be something that a lot of players can enjoy, but what? You'll have to wait and see. He did say that we will have not much longer to wait, but I'm currently putting together a video that puts everything we know about Town Hall 17 together. And once that is ready, I will link it on your screen. But if not, there's a recommendation there for you from this channel. Enjoy the rest of your day.